Alright, I'm going to show you how to properly connect a track wrestling clock to a Nixa Wrestling computer using hardwired internet this time instead of the Wi-Fi connection. So the first thing to notice is that instead of plugging our yellow cable into the Ethernet port on the computer, that port is now going to be occupied with the internet supplying your computer. So you will now use the white device that was provided with each computer. One end is USB and the other end is Ethernet. Please note that each of these devices are marked with a numerical number that should match the numerical number that comes with your computer. It is important to keep these aligned with the same computer so they will install correctly. Second important feature is to please make sure that you plug in the white device into the USB port on the back of the computer directly beside the Ethernet port. These devices are port specific and should be plugged into the same device each time. So now I'm going to show you, now that we physically have the cables plugged into the right spot, I want to show you what we need to go in and do. All the computers will be sent to you set up for wireless mode. So the Ethernet port on the computer will be set with a manual IP address already to talk to the track clock. Since we are hardwiring our computers, we now need to go in by hovering over our internet connection, right-clicking, open network and sharing, change adapter settings, and then we want to find our local area connection that has the broadcam, not the access. We want to find the local area connection with the broadcam, right-click, properties, and we want to go find Internet Protocol version 4 and click properties. Now last time we manually typed this in to set up our manual IP address. We now want to obtain an IP address automatically, which will allow the internet or the computer to properly work using the internet we are providing to it. Click close. So now our computer has internet connection, but we still need to get the track clock talking to the computer. So we are already in our networking connections. We are now going to right click on the local area connection 2, and it is listed ASIX, and that is our white USB device. We're going to right click properties. Again, we're going to go into Internet Protocol version 4 and click properties. We're going to tell it that we want to put in a manual IP address of 10.26.13.105. Subnet mask should be 255, 255.0. We'll leave our default gateway blank and click OK. We'll now click close. It's important that we did those two steps in that order. If you were to try to manually set up the IP address for the access device before you clear the local area connection, it will not allow two devices to have the same IP address, so it'll give you an error message. So it is important to clear out the local area connection first before you type in the IP address for this device. We can now close it, go to our controller, and again we're just going to check. This is not how you'll run the tournament, but we're just going to check to make sure that the clock is properly talking to the computer. We're going to double click controller. We're going to go to standalone. It's going to ask us if it's connected to a clock. We're going to say yes. Continue. And if I've gotten this far, it means I'm connected. You can confirm it by starting the clock and stopping the clock to make sure that it is physically working. At this point, you are properly set up.